Hey YouTube, Ricoknows here. So I was asked this question multiple times today. People kept writing me messages in my DM saying, who are the 5 best defensive players available in the transfer portal? And when I get specific questions like that, it makes me wonder, like, why are they asking this over and over and over again, multiple people? And then I realize, oh, that means one of these websites put out a list and now people want to know the truth, right? Because you can get your information from these sites, but they don't know what they're really talking about. And they put out these names and these lists, and it's casual nonsense. Like, people don't even understand that the information they're reading is categorically false, 100% false. It's crazy to me. It's almost mind-numbing. So I go and find it, and it's from Rivals, and it came out at 9 a.m., and I guess that was yesterday, the 24th, 9 a.m. yesterday. And it's their top 5 available in the transfer portal, top 5 defensive players. Number 1, Jacoby Mathews, a defensive back at Texas A&M. I'll talk about him. Number 2, a convicted felon. Tony Mitchell pleaded no contest to evading police, trying to distribute drugs, had a scale, paraphernalia, had a bunch of cash and a weapon, but obviously evaded police going over 140 miles an hour. He's on 3 years probation. So the former 5-star kid leaves Alabama, and they tell you he's one of the best players available in the transfer portal. I wouldn't sign him at all. I believe there's red flags there. Character, decision-making. Don't want him on my team. That's just me. If I was building a team, I'm looking for 0 character concerns. Give me some people who are good people, who want to contribute to society in a positive manner and aren't trying to evade police and play Scarface. I just don't get down with it. Number 3 is Sam McCall, defensive back Sam McCall. Coming out of high school, he and Travis Hunter were supposed to be a package deal going to Florida State. And then he signed with Florida State. Travis Hunter signed with Jackson State, right? So kind of left him hanging. He goes to Florida State, finds out, wait, I can't start here. Now, he was only a 3-star player, ends up transferring to A&M. Guess what? You can't start at A&M either, and he's back in the portal for the second offseason. What I would say is, who the hell thinks he's any good? Why is he up here? Just because he was a highly ranked high school player? He should not be in your top 5 available players. I can find 5 players that have started on Saturdays and actually contributed to wins, other things, and he's done nothing of the sort, at least not from my perspective. I don't think he's lived up to the hype at all. Defensive lineman Andrew DePape, not in the transfer portal, but thank you for listing him there. He's already committed to a school. It's called Indiana. So he's going to Indiana. Good get for Indiana. Big body, kid up front, a lot of potential. Don't think he's top 5 at all. And he wasn't top 5 on Friday. He wasn't top 5 yesterday or tomorrow. He's not top 5 right now. That's ridiculous to put him there. Dorian Jones. I actually like Dorian Jones in the top 5. Pretty unique to actually put a player who's actually started in the collegiate level, like he's played football. Okay, he was at Cincinnati last year. He recently transferred to UTEP, and then he flipped from UTEP to Virginia today. So he's not in the transfer portal either. So this isn't even the top 5 players in the transfer portal. This is nonsense. This is ranking some highly recruited guys and then some guys who aren't even in the portal. So this is why when you ask me, Ricoknows, who are the top 5 players in the transfer portal, I can just laugh at stuff like this. I literally can just laugh at it. So here's what I'll do. I'll close that out. I'll pull up my list, but let's talk about it one at a time, right? So my list for top 5 players in the transfer portal. Number 1, defensive end Chris Hardie. And I hate starting from number 1, but I'm going to. Usually I want to start from 5, work my way up. But we'll just start with number 1, Chris Hardie here. Played at Jacksonville State, watched him on film a ton of times, and we were blown away by him. Number 91, took over the defensive line. He usually plays, when you're watching the TV, he's on your bottom of your screen. So when you're looking at the defense, he's the right defensive end. If you're on the defense, looking at the offense, he's the left defensive end, if you understand what I'm saying. He's always at the bottom of your screen. Number 91. He's a damn problem. Go watch the film. 8.5 sacks last year, 5.5 sacks the year before that. Okay? 6'2", 270. On the edge, finding an edge rusher, 270, that means, is he athletic enough to move on the inside? Or are we keeping him on the edge? I can tell you that his defensive coordinator just got hired at Oklahoma. Oh, by the way, he just finished his trip to Oklahoma today. So he did a visit to Oklahoma. I don't know where he's going. I can just tell you that production on film and actually getting it done on Saturdays, Chris Hardie's the best. I don't want to hear about any high school recruits. I don't want to hear about 4- and 5-star kids. There's not a kid in high school better than this man. This man is Sunday worthy for me. He's going to be one of those undrafted guys who makes the final 53, and I'm going to be screaming, I told you so. Chris Hardie is great. Love this man. Think he's a great football player. The very best defender in the transfer portal. I don't want to hear any debate about it. Okay? That's my number one guy. Number two, Kanious Vaughn. Kanious Vaughn coming out of high school. I don't know if he had grades or if he was under-recruited, but he was an all-state player in California. I think San Clemente. And then he ended up going to Saddleback Community College. Played at Saddleback. Then he shows up at UTEP last year. Oh, and in limited action, gets 6 sacks. Okay, so he parlays that. He is undersized, 6'2", 223, defensive end. That's a problem. Outside linebacker, edge rusher, whatever it is. I'd say he's an outside linebacker in a 4-3 defense, right? You don't want his hand in the dirt, but he's got pass rushing moves. So he transfers to Utah in the winter. And now he's back in the transfer portal again. I don't know why he didn't work out at Utah. I don't know if he got there and he realized there's some other dogs there because Utah is pretty deep, and they do develop 3-star players. But Kanious Vaughn, to me, knowing that he can go out there and get 6 sacks at the collegiate level, puts him way up my chart. I love people with production, just putting pressure on quarterbacks, making pockets collapse. I think he adds any depth and help to any rotation. I like Kanious Vaughn in the transfer portal. That's my number 2 guy. And if he was good enough for Utah to sign him in the winter, he's good enough for a lot of your teams right now. Now, on that list, they had Jacoby Mathews on the list. They had him number 1. He's a very good player. What makes him great is his size. He's 6'2", 215. He managed to get into the starting lineup and get in the rotation at A&M, which is very commendable, okay? And he's in the portal. He's just huge. He's punishing. I wonder where he's going. I'd imagine he's going to the highest bidder, but that is a hell of a player right there. Jacoby Mathews, number 3 on my list. Number 4, somebody nobody talks about, Jordan Dunbar from Rice. Okay, Jordan Dunbar from Rice. What you need to know is those 9 and 8 passes deflected are borderline elite. Once I see double-digit passes deflected, I go turn on the tape. So when I'm watching the transfer portal, I know this man was all-conference as a freshman, or he was on the all-freshman team in his conference, then he was all-conference last year. This is a very good defensive back. I believe he's coveted. I'm going to tell you that right now. I know that his teammate, Devon, forgetting his last name, but I'm pretty sure Devon something. He just transferred, went to the ACC, if I remember. He committed to Duke. These highly academic guys can commit anywhere. He's from New York. Is Syracuse calling? Is Rutgers calling? This is a real defensive back. Great player. 6 foot, 190, not too small. Does everything right on film, competes. I like this young man a lot. So Jordan Dunbar, my number 4 player in the transfer portal, for sure, on the defensive side. All right, shout out to Jordan Dunbar. All his stuff here. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, too. And then the last guy I'll put is Da'Marcus Crosby. I want to make this very clear. Da'Marcus Crosby is an absolute stud. All right, Sam Houston was terrible. He's 6'2", 195. Went out there and had 4 interceptions. I love defensive backs who find the ball. I love defensive backs who have that knack and that ability to make the catch, right, to make the interception, cause the turnover. It's one thing to get passes deflected. It's a whole nother thing to get that turnover. So I love Da'Marcus Crosby. And let me tell you something. If you don't like Sam Houston players, or you think, Rico, you're just looking at small school guys. You know the last small school player that nobody talked about? I'm going to tell you, this 4-star defensive back right here, Cam Alexander, going to Oregon. They tell you he's 4 stars and a 90 score. One of the top corners in the transfer portal. He just transferred from UTSA to Oregon. UTSA to Oregon. And when he did that transfer, look, they don't have any other entries on here. According to 24/7 Sports, he went from UTSA to Oregon. 0 stars. Well, before he was at UTSA, he was a corner at Sam Houston. There it is. Transfer cornerback from Sam Houston. Appeared in 32 games at Sam Houston. Playing out of his mind at Sam Houston. And he transferred from Sam Houston to UTSA. So when you start looking at these defensive backs from Sam Houston and how good they are, you better respect their game. Okay? So when I look at Cam Alexander going from Sam Houston, going to UTSA, got no respect from the transfer portal. None. They gave him 0 stars when he transferred from Sam Houston to UTSA. I remember it vividly last year. Just he transferred and they didn't give a shit. 0 stars. Then he's at UTSA. Then he gets 14 passes deflected. Then he's one of the top corners out there batting down all these passes. Now he's going to Oregon. Oh, my God, he's 4 stars. Oh, my God, we got him. He's the same motherfucker. Same dude he was when he was 0 stars. He's 4 stars. Same guy. These websites don't know what they're doing. They won't give a guy a star until he's going to some perennial power of some sort. I'm telling you right now, they don't know my top 5. Because Da'Marcus Crosby is a stud of a defensive back, and they have him in there just chilling 3 stars like they don't know who he is. These are animals right here. These are the 5 best defensive players in the transfer portal. Period. Now, hidden gems. If you haven't seen Charlie Jackson play, this is a huge. I had to go watch film on him. I had to go find it. Gardner Webb. I don't watch FCS football. That's a defensive tackle worth picking up right now. He can make it on anybody's rotation. Added value in somebody's defensive front. I'm waiting for it. We'll see what happens. Charlie Jackson is a hidden gem. The next one, Connor Neal. Connor Neal transferring in from Division II. He went to, Ferris State? Ferris State to Oklahoma. Now, at Oklahoma, he was all special teams last year. He wasn't quite there. That's why he's a hidden gem this time around. He's back in the transfer portal. But this is a man who once had an amazing amount of production when he got a chance to play. I think he should go to the FCS level. I think he should go somewhere else, right? Group of 5. He can't play at Oklahoma. Got it. But I like that young man. Another guy is Isaiah Paul. Intrigues me. Isaiah Paul, this is going to sound crazy. So he used to play at UIW. Goes up to from UIW up to Washington State. Remember they picked up Eric Morris up there? That was their offensive coordinator. He then left to go be the head coach at North Texas. It's musical chairs around here, bro. So he goes up to Washington State. It doesn't work out for him while he's there. He ends up transferring to UCF. Doesn't work out there. And now he's just kind of out in the wind. But at one point, this was a pretty solid linebacker. So he intrigues me. He's a hidden gem. One of those guys that probably deserves a seat somewhere. Okay? Oh, by the way, update for rivals. Dorian Jones, already committed to Virginia. He's not in the transfer portal. Okay? So he's committed to Virginia. Was at UTEP. Flipped from UTEP to Virginia. And then Andrew just flipped to, he went to Michigan State. I said it wrong earlier, didn't I? Oh, man, that was a mistake on my part. I said Indiana. He flipped from Indiana to Michigan State. That's probably what I meant, because it was a flip. Oh man, that's on me. Man, they're gonna roast me if the people who don't watch these videos finish them all the way through. They're gonna roast me. I put the update up here. Don't get mad at me. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. These are the top 5 players in the transfer portal right here. These are the guys that need to get signed, and get excited when you sign these guys. Don't be talking about Tony Mitchell. Don't be talking about Sam McCall. Those are recruiting misses. These websites, they're hoping and praying those 2 guys become somebody, because they're the ones who anointed these guys. They're the ones who went ahead and labeled them superstars before they ever did anything. Right? I'm not worried about it. These 5 right here, I ain't worried about a damn thing. I know I'm right. I'm telling you that right now. Appreciate you guys watching. Stay up.